Good evening. Welcome to Hampton City Council. If you'll stand for the invocation by Mr. George Bradford, Hampton United Methodist, and Councilman Brown will be leading us in the pledge of flag.
Good evening. It's very odd to be talking from the center of the room for me. It being September 11th, I remember back to my freshman year of college that we had a communion service that Tuesday night, and we ran out of bread. And I remember the chaplain saying to each of us, "Don't be afraid, because love is greater than fear." And so that is my prayer tonight for us and for this meeting, that perfect love will cast out all fear, and that light will drive out darkness. Let us pray together. Gracious God, we thank you for the gift of this day. We thank you for the gift of this time that we've set aside to do your work. We pray your blessing upon this meeting, upon the words that are spoken, and upon our hearts, that we might do what is best for the city of Hampton, do what is best for its residents, and that we might seek to offer your peace and your love and your courage to all that we need. We pray all these things in your Son's name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you have your presentation, Mr. City Manager?
We do not.
Moving on then. Approval of minutes, the August 14th, 2018, the regular council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, there's some corrections that need to be made in the August 14th minutes.
Okay.
There's a typo. There's a typo in our public comments up under Ms. Lindsay. If you would change love to live. And I believe also underneath, actually, I don't have a page here. Page 5, where we were discussing ordinance 461 for the Hampton First Baptist Church. It needs to add Ms. Bodie's motion to approve with conditions of down-facing light and noise ordinance. She did not want to add the parking, so it was only those two things that we approved as conditional use. With those corrections, I move that we approve the August 14th meeting.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0 with the corrections on the minutes. The August 30th, 2018, special call meeting.
I make a motion to approve with 3 corrections in 3 different locations. It says that the vote passed unanimously, and it has 5-1 on one of them, 5-1 on another one, and 4-2 on the other.
Okay, which one did it again?
There's 3 different ones where we voted. There was a 5-1 vote, but it says unanimously before the 5-1.
Okay. Okay.
Can't hear you. Mr. Mayor, there is also another correction on this.
Okay.
Because it has to be taken off the first one.
Give me a second, somebody give me a second.
We can take all the corrections first and then make a motion to approve the minutes with everything that's in
Okay.
there.
So on the first page of August 30th, it says Councilperson Mitchell made a motion to table Resolution 1817. This was actually removed from the table, so it should be removed.
Just strike that whole thing.
Yeah. And also, the next item, Mayor Pro Tem made a motion to enter into executive session, second by Councilperson Turner, but they failed to put in for the purpose of litigation personnel and for real estate.
Okay. Can we make those corrections, please? You motioned the second, Ms. Carter?
I'll second that motion that Mr. Byrd made, or do we need to read it all in?
Let's do a new motion with all the corrections by Mr. Byrd and yourself, Ms. Carter.
I make a motion to approve August 30th minutes with those corrections.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Passed 6-0. Do we have any invited guests tonight? Mr. Thrasher, since you're here, I know you're the minister of Hampton, you might come up and tell us a little about yourself and how you got started and all that.
Sure. I just began as pastor of Hampton United Methodist this past June on the Sunday where we did not have any power in the city. It was quite a memorable occasion with lots of fans blowing, and it was a good Sunday. I've been here since then. I've been in ministry over 12 years, married with 3 daughters, and I'm excited to be here in Hampton and getting to know the community. I'd like to get to know everyone. I'd love to introduce myself and stuff. I was previously a chaplain, and I served in various roles in ministry in the United Methodist Church in the North Georgia Conference.
Well, thank you, sir. So welcome to Hampton. Do we have any special guests? Well, no. Okay, public comment. You'll just line up and come on up. Oh, I'm sorry, Kate, I've got one gentleman that did sign up, and I'll get you right after him. Dexter Cladd, will you come on up? Okay. Come on up, Mr. Cladd. Don't want to come up now.
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon.
I did take a shower. I don't know why no one wants to sit up there. I did take a shower.
You're on the front row.
I want to address 3 things that will affect the city, affect the future of the city of Hampton. Number 1, the future zoning. Number 2, the economic development. And number 3, the current and future employees of the city. Number 1, zoning. I believe I can say that most citizens and most businesses within the city want to see responsible growth. And what I mean by that is, I think that we would like to have a nice restaurant, some quality entertainment, and some responsible growth. And we can do that and still keep the small town charm that we have here in Hampton. All of this can be achieved with a new zoning map. From my opinion, a good zoning map will guide growth and development, protect health, safety, appearance, and prosperity, make properties attractive to developers, and facilitate effective growth with development involvement. Some residents would not be happy with these changes, unless you let them do it themselves. But all of us should be open to constructive criticism. Number 2, the Economic Development Committee. A few weeks ago, the committee, along with some councilmen and councilwomen, had the opportunity to visit Duluth, Norcross, and Hayfield. And personally, I was impressed with the art, the businesses that they were able to attract, especially Duluth, and the investment that these cities made. So I hope that some of that growth, some of those ideas can be implemented here within the city of Hampton within the next couple of years. Number 3, city employees in Hampton. As the plan for our growth materialize, let's ensure that the employees of the city grow with the city as well. And I do have some concerns about that. Pay disparity between employees that are doing the same job, inconsistent performance evaluation, and employees having to purchase thermal equipment. And every department should have a succession plan. In conclusion, from my opinion, the city is making some corrective measures to move the city forward. And as we move forward over the next few months and years to come, let's continue to seek feedback, make necessary adjustments when necessary, so all of us can look and be proud of what we fight to.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Katie Queen?
Katie Queen, 30 Woolsey Road. Thank you.
Speak up.
Talk loud. Okay, I recently got a, copy of the charge cards. There's a charge card that has a new limit of $2,500. My question is really on the youth council. I guess I don't understand how it works. Because I'm looking at a $6,500, might as well say $30 reimbursement for ambassadors and sneakers, but it says to take it out of the youth council sub-account. Is that correct? Is that?
The council will not respond. I will only take your comments. I'm not going to answer questions of you.
Okay, well, I know the youth council is doing it $8,400. Okay, the youth council is broke. So, I don't know what you're going to do in the future with it, but there's well over $8,400 worth of charges, just to New York and Europe. And charges to food places, the fish market in Hoover, Alabama, $785. Dreamland Barbecue, $575. The Urban Cookhouse in Birmingham, $362. But we do not support our own youth association, $500. We do not give our third graders dictionaries. $400 covered 3 schools. Those dictionaries were extremely unique. You will never find another one like it. And the kids, they anticipate coming with that. But to turn down our own youth for $500 and then to see this, I don't understand. So we're talking between Europe and New York alone and Alabama. We're talking well over $10,000 in charges. And we can't support our own kids. Come on.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
Michael Walker, Governor from Rockford. I really thought on part with what I wanted to say tonight. Ever since rumors started to fly around after the special call meeting on August the 30th, I was disturbed to say the least, but I wanted to give the council the benefit of the doubt. But then this Friday, when the draft minutes of that posted online, those doubts turned to disbelief. While the actions to approve Mr. Comey's recommendations might abide by the letter of the law, they certainly don't even come close to transparency and openness. What were these recommendations? What required that they be hidden under a shroud of secrecy? It has been suggested by some that it was only cleaning up some mess or another that this council, or some before them, have allowed to happen. It has also been suggested that it was just an overzealous attempt to establish an authoritarian approach to changing our city into something that we, the citizens, certainly don't desire. We have very little serious problem. Once again, Mr. Mayor, I urge you to exert your authority to inform us of exactly what is going on and what the end goal is. Thank you.
I will respond back to personnel issues. I'm not allowed to discuss personnel issues. If I did, I'd be in a federal court and we'd be broke by then if the federal court got finished with me. I cannot respond to personnel matters.
Good evening, we're appointing the motion meeting. Just for brevity, I'll leave. In the August city council meeting, the majority of this council approved ordinance 457 with a mixed-use portion intact from the first reading. This was against what many Hampton residents stated that they wanted. The verbal expressions and nearly 400 signatures against mixed use held no sway with the voting majority. After the motion for the second reading of this ordinance was made and seconded, council discussion ensued. Although discussion is a vital part of the decision-making process, so is preparation. Just speaking my own opinion, the caliber of a few of the questions asked showed a lack of understanding of a project that had been going on for months. To have the city attorney explain the project such as the two basic facets of it after the first reading of the ordinance had been approved 3 weeks earlier, it was very revealing. Some of you did not appear to be fully prepared to make a decision of such magnitude. Hampton residents deserve better. With map changes, deadlines, and staff requests for completion, more should have been done on the council's part to more fully understand and prepare for issues such as this. The ultimate passage of this ordinance sent a message to the residents of Hampton. The council really does not have any intention of preserving this character that's so distinctive about Hampton that makes it so special. Just moving on to another topic, as the council continues its budget preparation for 2019, it would do well to remember the tenet of the Georgia Municipal Association's requirements for designation as a city of ethics that states the necessity to use resources with efficiency and economy. A lack of regard for this in budget preparation and finalization will create unnecessary drains from our city's financial resources. And that's extremely important, especially in Ms. Queen's comments about what's going on with some of the city money. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hello, everyone. I'm Tamara Duchenne, 136 Madison Drive.
Speak into the mic.
I'm sorry. So I'm just coming up with
Can you
comments.
restate your name
Oh,
and for the
Pamela
record,
Duchenne,
and your address and everything?
136 Madison Drive in Hampton.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm kind of coming to speak up in regards to the last few meetings I've been coming to. I know a lot of my fellow residents have been expressing concerns about the development and the multi-use. So I want to say I went on a field trip where I visited 3 cities that were kind of comparable to our city. And several of them had multi-use buildings. I thought they were beautiful. I thought they enhanced. I thought they added much value. It looked like it increased property value around. I thought the whole development increased jobs, had jobs available to the residents living there. Most of what I've been hearing is they are concerned with crime. Crime, I guess, unless you're kind of there with the new stuff. I mean, you didn't really see crime happening when you were there, but I think economic development kind of is going to happen regardless whether we want it to happen or not. I mean, if you look at simply cell phones, what they used to be, what we used to have when we used to have dial-up internet versus what we have now, broadband and high speed. I think it's going to be inevitable, so I think we should try to get involved and kind of be part of it because it's going to happen with the millennials coming after us. So that's all I just wanted to say. I didn't see that there was a big issue. It looks very nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
James F. Williams from Southampton, 188 Kendall. I understand about the fear about change and things that happen, but this city went through this once before prior to 2006. If that field would have stayed in place, Southampton, Yankee Commons, Liberty Square, Bridgeport, Resident Union would not be here. Because they were their field that on that property. Change is gonna happen, and I agree with Mr. Shea. Change is gonna happen. Last week, went to the Lovejoy, function. When I arrived here, Lovejoy was like the same size as Hampton, in fact, a little bit smaller. Lovejoy is growing. Eagles Landing may happen, it may not happen. It will grow. And the property line comes down Highway 20, all the fence lines, all the way down Highway 20, if you ever notice it, is gone. Therefore, there's no cows on those pastures. Therefore, they're getting ready to put stuff on those pastures. And also, the airport is growing. The road that used to cut across the airport is gone. Now it's part of the airport, it's part of the runway. Like it or not, change is gonna happen. This council got to grab it by the horns, or either it's gonna grab it by the horns and guide it, or get run over by it. That's what is gonna happen.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Okay, that'll close out public comments this time. Moving forward, under old business, ordinance number 461, conditional use for the Hampton First Baptist Church at 85 McDonough Street for a church campus expansion. First reading was August 14, 2018, passed 5-1. And I believe there was some conditions added in, for the soccer field would be downward light, and they would have to obey by the Hampton noise ordinance. Is that correct?
Mayor, in fact, this was alluded to when you guys did the discussion for the minutes. And so what you should have in your package is a corrected, ordinance that reflects the conditions that Ms. Bowden put in her motion. And they're highlighted in yellow. And those two conditions that were approved at that meeting were that any field lighting be downcast, and that obviously it's a requirement anyway, but because that was one of the conditions as a part of her motion, it's also included that they must adhere to the city's noise ordinance.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I hear a motion to approve or disapprove?
I make a motion that we approve the conditional use for Hampton First Baptist Church for campus expansion.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Moving on to new business, resolution 1818, proclamation for September the 11th, 2018, honoring the memorial of all those who died by being of service to others by the building the stronger, more perfect union that our founding fathers called for.
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 18-18.
I'll second. Any more discussion? Okay. Oh, excuse me.
And Mr. Mayor, if I could interrupt for a moment, given the sensitivity of today and the powerfulness of today, and it is Patriot Day, but it is also a chance for our country to remember how we were on the offense, and therefore we had to come together. Would you permit Hunter to come to the microphone and to read this full proclamation, because it speaks to a time for us remembering and acknowledging the lives that were lost and the impact upon our country.
That'd be fine, I've got it right here.
Whereas an unprovoked and senseless act of terrorism, 4 civilian aircraft were hijacked on September 11, 2001, and crashed into the New York City, Pennsylvania, and Pentagon. Whereas innocent U.S. citizens of all heritages, as well as visiting citizens of foreign nations were killed and injured as a result of these horrific acts. And whereas while we as a union still conclude and recover the unspeakable loss of so many innocent lives, and the inaugural spirit of the United States has been revitalized and given away to numerous expressions of heroism and patriotism. And whereas the threat of terrorism, destruction, and senseless violence must be banished for any free society to exist. Whereas the city of Hampton, Georgia, shares the grief of the New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and other cities across the globe will commemorate the annual observance of September 11th tragedy. Now therefore, it will be resolved by the mayor and the city council of the city of Hampton, Georgia, that we will extend our deepest condolences to the innocent victims of these unprovoked acts of terrorism, as well as to their families and friends. Be it further resolved that we salute the heroism of public safety and rescue workers and volunteers, local officials, and those who respond to the tragic events with courage and selflessness, compassion, determination, and skill. It be further resolved that we dedicate September 11th, always remembered 9/11 Day, a day to mourn, reflect, and rededicate ourselves to the ending of terrorism and commemoration of the anniversary of the terrorist attack. Be it further and resolved that we encourage all of our citizens to honor the victims of September 11th by reaffirming their commitment to sustain our newfound patriotism through volunteerism, community involvement, and service. Be it further resolved that we as citizens dedicate our time, talent, and energy to lift up one another and foster a new level of understanding and awareness. Let us honor the memory for all of those who died by being of service to one another and by building the stronger, more perfect union our founding fathers called for. So resolved this 11th day of September 2018.
Thank you, Bob. I believe I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion on it? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Resolution 1819, resolution to establish the policy for the county-sponsored initiative. Tony?
That was actually something that the council requested of me to draft, in response to council members wanting to support, the initiatives of nonprofits or even for-profits in the city, and even receiving donations from individuals or businesses or organizations that provide a benefit to the citizens. And so I drafted this in response to that request. As you can see, A through E provide just some guidelines on how taxpayer dollars are spent, if they are going to be spent for the public good, or even if the city is receiving any donations for any initiative. One thing I would like to add after talking with Mr. Mitchell is that if you do approve this resolution, that it is approved with the addition that any vote taken in pursuant to this policy would specify which line item funds are being placed in or even taken from. And I think that is a good addition so you can have an accurate accounting of where monies are going or coming from.
So that would be L?
It would be.
Okay, I have one more line there. Any more discussion? Do I have a motion? Go ahead, David.
What I wanted to clarify is if there's a line item that has a certain dollar amount on it for an event, and the people go out and get donations for that event, and the donations that was gotten was more than what we even needed to do that event. What happens? Do you use the money that's in the line item and then take what was donated, what you need to finish out to make this event happen, and take that money and use it for that event next year in case you have a shortfall, or where does the money go?
So I'm no finance person, and obviously that would be something left up to the administrative arm of this city. But if I had to answer your question tonight, I would think that you would use the donated money and put the rest in reserve.
Okay, if there was more money than in the donation part of it, and there was money left over in that, then what happens with that?
Again, with the same disclaimer, I would think that that would either stay there, if it's an annual program or something like that, it would stay there until, that program came up again, or you rebudgeted for it in the next fiscal year. And anything left over, you always do put it back in the reserve.
Or you budget again for,
You budget again for the next year. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if people got out and did that donation, and we've done this before, and the donation was more than what we needed to actually have the event, well, next year you may not be that lucky.
That's true.
So I would like to see that money stay for that purpose, since it was donated money, not city money.
I don't disagree with that. And that's just a matter of your administrative folks keeping account of how much was raised, how much that event cost, and then when you budget the next year, for your next fiscal year, you say, hey, we've already got X amount, because it was left over from the previous year.
Again, I need a motion to approve or disapprove. Any more discussion?
Motion to approve. Well, condition is stays, if money left over stays in the reserve.
It stays in that, it stays over that budget for next year.
And just make sure your motion reflects the fact that we were adding F that I mentioned.
Okay. Make the motion again, Mr. Brown.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve with the addition of, F to, leave the money in reserve and probably use for the same purpose.
The mayor, second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0. Mayor and council to vote on filling the vacancies on the Main Street Advisory. Denise?
Good evening. We have two vacancies on the Main Street Advisory Board, and I have two, Jeannie Hill and Monica Davis of Office of Volunteer Services.
Bring them up front with you, please.
Please come up. I think you've seen a vote around town of exhibit. Glenn Golden, his term is expired, and then we've had Nick Craig resign. This is Jeannie Hill. She's been around for a long time, and she works with us a good bit. She's been a great volunteer. Monica is new to the community, and she has been volunteering and working with us since she's been here as well. And they would love to get back to the community, and we would be honored to have them serve on our board with us.
Okay, the term will be for how long?
There are two different terms. One is to fill the unexpired term, and I'll put one in the cover sheet for Nick Craig, and that would be up to, I think it's July of 19, and the other would be for a full 2-year term. We have a, call it cover sheet.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. To appoint Monica Davis for the full 2-year term to expire in 10/2020. And appoint Jeannie for the unexpired term, and hers expires July 2019. And then we'll get it 2 more years.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question because my paperwork says Michelle.
Michelle, she was appointed temporary after Nick Craig resigned. That's correct, we did appoint Michelle, but she, because of items she has requested to resign from that as well, and so she never even attended a meeting. Okay, so that is what it's for Michelle.
Do I hear a motion to approve these?
I make a motion that we approve the 2 new members of the Main Street Program, Ms. Monica Davis and Ms. Jenny Hill. Jenny Hill.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Pass 6-0.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, ladies.
All right.
You're We need an executive session for the purpose of personnel, possible litigation, and real estate.
See a positive happening.
Excuse me, let me back up. Positive happening, start with Mr. Brown.
Mr. Mayor, we have a couple of things, positive, happenings. Today we had, I took part in the 9/11 celebration up at Stockbridge, in support of the, American Legion Post 516. Had very good turnout. It was, it's an annual event, and, it really touched a lot of people's hearts, and, you know, it kind of brings me back to reality, that, you know, freedom is not free, and whether you're a military personnel or a public servant, you do volunteer to put your life at risk. You have folks that don't think twice for running into a building and save you, your children, your dog, your cat, your mouse. And we need to recognize those folks as we go about our business day to day. Not just military, but the EMT, the fire department, the police department.
Bodie?
Mr. Mayor, a couple weeks ago, we had our COPS event, and to me, it was just the best year yet. We had so many nice volunteers. They came out and cooked food for hours, and, I was over with, we had about 40 to 50 teenagers show up from the high school and from a couple of the local churches to play kickball, and it was just a really great day.
Mr. Turner? You passed? Okay, well, this is my apology. There's a little storm brewing off the North and South Carolina coast. AMS opened their doors today to take any camper that would love to come in and camp through this and not charge them one penny. So they have a generous heart to do that, and that's my positive thinking for the city of Hampton.
So my positive happening is with our youth council. I am very excited. We have solidified all 7 of our students. We've had our first meet and greet over at Hampton High School. This Principal Gore, he has opened up his arms and really embraced us to help us with anything that we need. We actually will be attending Japan Fest this year. It's coming up soon, and he is helping us with garnering the students to go and venture out and learn about different cultures and learn what they are doing as far as civic activities. I want to, we will be reaching out into the community to really ask for your assistance, ask for your help, ask for your participation with helping these students do what it is that we're asking from them as they come up with the ideas for the youth council. It's not something that is going to be governed by adults. We have some young people that know how to think, and I'm ready for them to think. So I'm very happy and excited about it.
Mr. Mitchell?
Every year, I'm always happy and sad. I just celebrate my 18th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Then 9/11, my daughter born. Then I see what happened in the World Trade Center. I was very terrified. I see a couple of jets over me. Then after that, I feel happy that man, armed force, here to protect us. And that made me happy. And this is every year, it's also having a lot and also happy.
Mr. Burton?
I just wanted to say kudos to the gentleman that's doing the downtown streetscape. Looking forward to when we get to add some more stuff on, to fill in some of the voids, because it's starting to shape up. The bushes are looking really good where he's trimming them, and it's really been an improvement to the downtown.
Thank you. And we need an executive session.
Then we need to go into executive session.
For the reason of what? Personnel, discuss personnel, possible litigation, real estate?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we're in executive session, it's 19:09. Sorry.